Good evening. Today we will see about the urine dipstick test that we commonly use in emergency wards, and also it can be used as a screening test. Many a times the results are available as 1 plus 2 plus. Lot of residents are having the confusion with respect to the quantity, how much the patient is excreting, how to detect based on this. So today I took this one that commonly we are using in the wards. In the box it is given how it have to be dipped in the urine. Once the patient passes the urine have to be collected in the container, then the sticks have to be dipped and the color have to be compared to get the semi quantitative value of the results. So in this dipstick we are having for dipsticks for protein and glucose. Varied manufacturer uses different dipstick assays, but in India the commonly used one are protein and the RBCs. As we open the box, we will be having the strip like this. So there are two color codings. One is for protein, another one is for glucose. This have to be taken and dipped in the patient's urine, and the color have to be compared. So for glucose it is here, for protein it is here. So today I will show you for the protein how to interpret this. So as we see over here, the glucose have to be checked after 30 seconds after dipping it in the urine. For protein it have to be checked after 60 seconds after dipping it in the protein. The result can be available as I am showing over here, milligram per deciliter or gram per liter. But what we want to know is how much the patient is excreting over a day. So that is why it won't give the exact value, it gives approximate value. That is why it is called a semi-quantitative test. Okay, how to interpret this? Let the patient passes the urine, we are dipping it inside the urine, and after 60 seconds just try to match with the color. Whichever the color is matching, the result is that much. Suppose if the patient color is matching over here 1 plus, that means the patient is having 30 milligram per deciliter of protein. So in that particular sample, this test is sensitive for albumin, so that is why the dipstick test predicts albumin better. Once we go towards 2 plus 3 plus and 4 plus, in the biochemistry report they give it as plus values. What this plus indicates? Plus indicates 30 milligram per deciliter, 2 plus indicates 100 milligram per deciliter, 3 plus is 300 milligram per deciliter. One point to note is it is not for the 24-hour, it is at the particular sample. So you have to make the approximation how much the patient will be excreting. Normally it is nil. Trace if it is concentrated urine. 1 plus means patient is passing approximately 100 milligram, 2 plus 100 milligram per day probably, 2 plus probably 100 to 500 milligram, up to 1 gram to 3 gram, 4 plus is more than 3 gram, then nephrotic range. So since it is a semi-quantitative test, it can't give the approximate value. This can be used for follow-up and for screening. It have to be confirmed by 24-hour urinary protein values, and it just indicates the patient is in proteinuric range. And other than this, regarding glucose, we'll see in it in another video. And this is all regarding albumin plus how to interpret. The pluses are higher in the particular sample, the patient is passing a higher amount of urine in the particular sample. So that is why it is called a semi-quantitative test. Gives the approximate value of the protein used in screening and also in the follow-ups. And this test is more sensitive for albumin, even though might or might not detect other protein, but it's for albumin. What are the other questions you might encounter in this is regarding the what is the mechanism, what is the reagent the protein is reacting with, and these are all the questions you might encounter. most important, at least for the DM resident, make sure there are two parameters, milligram per deciliter, gram per liter. But what we require from the patient is 24-hour urinary protein excretion. So you can't tell the approximation values. I have made it as a separate video just of 1 minute or less, and I have previously also uploaded. Since a lot of resident was having doubt with respect to how to interpret this, I made this video. And then next we will see regarding the glucose. Bye bye.